folks. This is a tornado warning. Northern portions of Davidson County. It will include Hendersonville and Sumner County. Again, this is moving very fast, so unfortunately we are not getting as much lead time on these storms. This is I-40 at Briley there and White Bridge Road, I believe. And boy, the winds are whipping. You can hear them. So we are watching this intently. I'm going to track this one, moving at 60 miles per hour, pretty fast. Goodlettsville in 9 minutes, Hendersonville 14 minutes, and Gallatin 24 minutes from now. And Brett, feel free to chime in if you hear anything or see anything coming in from chat.
Yeah, not seeing anything in chat, Katie, right now, but like you were saying, Bridgestone Arena, that area within 2 minutes, Nashville within 2 minutes or so. We just had a little update on this too. So Nissan Stadium, if you live around that area, this best area rotation could be around your area within the next 2 minutes or so. Jolton, 2 minutes. Goodlettsville, you have a little bit longer, 10 minutes there. Old Hickory, 11 minutes. Hendersonville, 14 minutes. And Mountain Juliet, 18 minutes, if that holds together up that direction. So this tornado warning is set to go until 5:30 this afternoon. We were seeing that better area of rotation up here. This is going to be really for at least the best area of rotation, kind of more in the northwestern portions of Davidson County, right where we see these shades of green. I'm going to clear off this track map too. So right where we see these shades of green right here, this is going to be right around Buena Vista Estates and just to the west of Avondale, also just west of Interstate 24 and just north of Interstate 40, it looks like, where we're still seeing some of that better rotation that's been popping up on the radar. So this is the area that we're going to stay watching. So if you live in Nashville, especially North Nashville or northern portions of Davidson County, you need to go ahead and get to your safe place. That's going to be with the lowest floor of whatever building you're in. If you're at home, get to your lowest floor, the most interior room, put as many walls between you and the outside of your home as you can, and definitely stay away from windows. Not a good idea to be around any windows in a time like this. It's 4:52 right now, the current time. This tornado warning set to go until 5:30. And Katie, we may have just had something else pop up too that I'm seeing. This is going to be up here around Portland. So this is going to be for parts of Sumner County, maybe a confirmed tornado.
A confirmed tornado now moving through Portland, it looks like, or just getting ready to move through Portland. So yeah, why don't you check on that, Brett? This is a video that you're seeing here. A live picture is I-65 at Trinity Lane. So the storm is off to the left and it will be moving more north up 65. So there is, again, the TDOT folks. Boy, look at that on the backside.
Wow.
TDOT folks are just zooming around so you can see downtown in the background there. We're getting some intense wind signatures here, which we can hear. Boy, this is a really strong burst of wind. This is right out. Ooh, wow. This is right outside our station, and we've got the lights that are shaking in our studio right now. This is likely a burst of wind that we're seeing, so everything's shaking right now in the studio. So this is an intense area of wind, and some of these storms within the main line are going to be showing wind signatures up to 70 miles per hour, and this is likely what we have here right around Bordeaux. We're looking at wind speeds that are close to 70, almost 80 miles per hour, and that is what this line has the history of producing back in West Tennessee. So that picture is right outside our station here, and you can see the winds are whipping. And Mel, make sure that Jared's staying safe as well, because this could easily throw debris as it moves through the station. And let me go over real fast here. That's our Metro Center camera right now. If you look at that, so we actually have debris. You can see things flying from our Metro Center camera. So again, boy, I don't know. There's a lot going on here.
It got so dark so quick, too.
It really did. So we are located, that's going to be where we're looking at a real intense wind signature. This is wind up to 70, possibly 80 miles per hour. Our station is right about there. So we're real close to where this area of wind is, and might be, I don't know, Brett, we might be having a little bit of rotation even near the station.
Yeah, we absolutely could be. And Katie, I know you've been talking about that one. That's very important. Obviously, that includes Davidson County. I do just want to mention, though, up here into parts of Sumner County, we have, it looks like a confirmed tornado. We had our polygon pop up purple, so that indicates to us that there is at least a confirmed tornado, or at least at one point there was. So it's very, very important right now. If you're up here in Sumner County around Portland, Mitchellville, Turner Station, Chestnut Hill, any of these spots right up here, we'll zoom in a little bit more, get you some more town names. Fountainhead, Corinth, Singtown, anywhere in this area, you really need to go ahead and just be in your safe place. Stay there for a little bit longer. That tornado warning set to go until 5:15. We'll let you know when it's safe for you to exit your safe place there. But it does appear that there is a confirmed tornado up there. Waiting to get a little bit more confirmation on that, a little bit more details on that right there, and we'll get that to you when we got it. But our computer is turning that polygon purple, and that does mean that it is a confirmed tornado. So just stay in your safe place for a little bit longer if you're up here in portions of Sumner County, also into northern Macon County too. Areas like Green Valley up there in Macon County included within that tornado warning. We're going to drop back down here south, Katie. Obviously a very populated area here into Davidson County. Looks like some of the best area of rotation. I'm going to change products back and forth, but kind of around
Trinity Lane.
Yeah, this area, just right around still Buena Vista Estates, a little bit to the west of Interstate 24.
Can we go back to that camera that was on I-65? Sorry, Brett.
No, you're good.
And Trinity, because that'd be a good spot to look right now. Oh, it went down. Okay, so the camera went down. So something a little north of there would be good to see as well. These are some really intense winds that are moving through. We can hear it and we can feel it. The lights are shaking in our studio. So what do we got here? We got I-65. So here's I-65 right here. This is the leading edge. I-24, I-65 junction, and you can see the wind is whipping as it moves through. As of right now, we have not had a confirmation of a tornado with this cell, but I will say that these winds are serious as they move through. We could be looking at winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. So this is take shelter kind of wind. So if you are in the path of this area of wind as it makes its way through, this is going to pass 65 just north of downtown and I-24, the 65-24 area. This is going to be moving through Madison very shortly. So folks in Madison, go ahead and stay in an interior location of your house away from windows. This is the same protocol really for a tornado. We are under a tornado warning. This could be really high wind that we're seeing with this here. So this really does again prompt folks to take action, to stay away from those windows. This type of wind can easily do damage. 75-mile-per-hour winds. We're pretty close to the radar too. So here's the radar. This is 75-mile-per-hour winds, and that is definitely possible with this line as it pushes through here. So we continue to watch this as it moves through. And Brett, anything new on the confirmed tornado up north?
Not seeing anything new on that one, Katie. I am seeing, let me make sure I'm on the right tornado warning. Let's see. So they are going to continue that one tornado warning. These two tornado warnings are kind of close together and cover some of the same county. Just want to make sure I'm reading you off the correct information. Okay, not having any information on that confirmed, apparently confirmed tornado right there into portions of Sumner County, up into Macon County as well, along the Tennessee and Kentucky state line. With that tornado warning, though, that is in effect for Davidson County, that's that bottom red polygon that you're seeing flashing right there over Davidson County that does include Nashville. This tornadic thunderstorm, which prompted the warning, has moved out of at least Cheatham County, but now we're looking at it more so in Davidson County. So they clipped off the backside of Cheatham County. However, Davidson County will remain in that tornado warning at least for another 30 minutes or so. That tornado warning set to go until 5:30. So that's all the new information that I have, at least with that tornado warning. Cheatham County got clipped out of the backside of that. So if you're in Cheatham County, you're all good to come out of your safe place if you were sheltering from this storm. But if you're still in Davidson County, you need to stay in your safe place. The radar, it's not painting a pretty picture for us right there with the velocity product. So we'll go back over here, change it to reflectivity, and let me just get my bearing straight on exactly where we are. We're kind of zoomed in. So this is going to be right here around Old Hickory, Hendersonville. You need to be in your safe place right now. If you're around this portion of Interstate 65 too, kind of in eastern Davidson County, stay in your safe place as well for at least another 30 minutes or so, or until this storm threat passes you. It looks like some of the heaviest activity is going right over some of these areas: Belshire, Montague, Haysboro, Licton, Solitude, Acres, even up into Goodlettsville included within this tornado warning too. So if you're in Goodlettsville, stay in your safe place for a while longer as well. It's 4:59 right now. The clock is about to hit 5 o'clock. And like I was saying, this tornado warning is set to go until 5:30. But northern portions of Davidson County, I'm going to zoom out too, just so we can kind of get a little bit, get our bearings straight a little bit better. But right there, so this is going to be kind of north of Interstate 40 in Davidson County. If you're in the northern portions and especially eastern portions northeastern portions of Davidson County, you need to stay in your safe place for a little bit longer. And now, Katie, I'm seeing this tornado warning polygon up here has now turned red.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if at least that brief confirmation that they had has now gone away with that newest update that's come out. So
still worthy of taking shelter,
definitely.
of course, with the red polygon there. But yeah, that's good to see that it's changed colors at least. I want to go back. Sorry, Brad. I want to go back down to this one here. Some really intense winds coming through Madison right now. Hendersonville, heads up. Make sure that you are inside in an interior location again. Winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. Can be quite damaging, and we just want to make sure that everyone is seeking shelter. This is a tornado warning, so you may be hearing sirens right now, and know that this is for the northern part of Davidson County. It is getting ready to pass, has just passed 65 as you make your way out of town north, and this is getting ready to head into Sumner County now, where the most concern is with this storm. So it does include Hendersonville, it does include Gallatin as well, and for folks that okay, wow, look at that. So that's Briley at Gallatin Parkway. And
you can just see how strong that wind is, just the sheets of rain blowing.
That is real intense here. So again, even if we are looking at straight line winds here, this is take shelter type of wind. So the tornado warning does continue for Davidson and for Sumner County. And that is going to be, so we can, portions of Wilson County too. So that warning does continue, but right now I'm seeing the strongest wind moving over Madison, and winds could be as high as 70 miles per hour with this storm as it pushes in. And there still may be some rotation there. So at any moment we could have a tornado touch down. So that's why this warning continues, where rotation is possible. And the tornado warning again is in effect for Davidson and for Sumner and Wilson County. Main area of concern continues to be Hendersonville, right along Vietnam Vets. So here's the split coming off of 65 going north and east here on Vietnam Vets on 386 into Hendersonville. This is going to be near Shackle Island. This is going to impact even Gallatin, and then we'll continue north. In fact, I'll put a track on this one here. But boy, you can see the severe thunderstorm warnings too are being stretched far with this line. Yeah.
70-mile-an-hour winds possible. That new one that you're looking at right there on your screen, Katie, that goes way up to the northeast. That's going to go all the way up to areas like Smith County too, I believe, on that tornado warning. So, or severe thunderstorm warning. I'm sorry. Severe thunderstorm warning for Smith County, Eastern Davidson County, Northwestern Rutherford County, Sumner County, Wilson County, Macon County, Trousdale County. So these, like you said, these severe thunderstorm warnings are just extending very long. Just got an update. Looks like at least 4,000 folks with NES without power right now, and I mean you can understand why. Those winds were just racing across Davidson County.
Yeah.
We're going to zoom in right here, and this radar is still, it's just a cluttered image when I'm looking at the velocity. This is one of the products that we use where we can kind of pick out some of the better areas of rotation, but it is just kind of a jumbled image looking right now on radar. But I will say, let's see, if you are around Madison, Edenwald, Solitude Acres, Goodlettsville, Hendersonville, Cumberland Hills, Cherokee Woods, this is now pushing over into Sumner County, Hendersonville, Cherokee Woods, Glen Oaks, even up into Avondale, you need to just go ahead and stay in your safe place for a little bit longer. We just got a new radar update come in, so I think if we're looking at any better areas of rotation, we're going to be talking about right here around 386, around Edenworld, even a little bit to the northwest of Hendersonville, kind of right here in between Goodlettsville and Hendersonville. If you can see where I'm circling with my Actually, I'll draw like a kind of a blue circle around here, but this is probably going to be some of the better area of rotation right here. It's going to be an area that we continue to watch for that storm capable of producing a tornado. And when I start to see these pinks and blacks pop up in some of these storms, usually that means we're looking at some pretty intense hail with some of these too. So we could be looking at some large hail moving over your area. We'll pop back on lightning just really quick and put a counter on there. 107 strikes right here within this storm. It is a very strong storm that is really packing some winds too. And like we were saying for that tornado warning earlier this afternoon, not really seeing, or with this tornado warning, it doesn't really matter if you're at 70-mile-an-hour straight line winds or even just the rotating strong winds. They can still do a lot of damage. So with these severe thunderstorm warnings today, a severe thunderstorm can be issued for winds of 58 miles an hour or higher. These are going to be packing about 70-mile-an-hour winds. So these are just going to be very strong storms. Straight line wind damage will continue to remain an issue with some of these, along with very heavy rain, bad visibility if you're out on the roads. Flash flooding could be an issue too, so you just got to keep that in mind with all the rain that we've been seeing over the past several days. It's these 2 tornado warnings, though, is the reason why we are on air. Katie, I'm going to look and see. I'm not seeing any more updates coming in chat. No updates on this. I'm not even really seeing many pictures of anything, and you would think in such a populated area if there was something, there may be pictures, but hopefully people just continue to shelter in place for a little bit longer. It is 5:05 right now. This tornado warning is still going until 5:30 this afternoon, so another 25 minutes remaining on this tornado warning. It's very heavy rain right now moving through Hendersonville, Old Hickory. It's going to be pushing up into Gallatin pretty soon, so Gallatin, you're right on the edge of this tornado warning. Gallatin right here. If you're in Gallatin, just go ahead and get in your safe place, because if this storm holds together, I'm going to move my screen to you so you can see this a little bit better, but if that storm holds together, it is going to be pushing it on up into Gallatin. Katie, it looks like one of our photogs, Steven, just sent us in some video from Hendersonville, so if y'all could look at that in the control room and see what that's looking like. Okay, cool. Mel, thanks for getting that up back there in the control room. But right now, those 2 tornado warnings are the 2 tornado warnings that we have. We focused a lot right here on the Davidson County one. I don't want to forget about you up here, though, in Sumner County, also up into Macon County. Still that tornado warning that is set to go until 5:15. At one point, it appears that this was a confirmed tornado, but then that box turned up red pretty quickly. So right now, that leads me to believe that it is not confirmed at the moment. However, just like we always say, you have to treat these like these could be on the ground right now, because even if they're not on the ground right now, in environments like this, they could very quickly drop down to the ground at a moment's notice. So you got to stay in your safe place for just a little bit longer up here in northern portions of Sumner County and far northwestern portions of Macon County, at least until 5:15 or so, until that threat finally clears past your area. But that's the only update that I have right there for that storm in parts of Macon County and Sumner County, but it's this tornado warning still down here in portions of Davidson County, obviously moving through a very highly populated area. The heaviest of the activity has started to move through a good chunk of Davidson County now. We'll zoom out just so we can kind of get our bearings a little bit more straight, but portions of East Davidson County still dealing with just a lot of activity, a ton of lightning, especially with that tornado warned storm and very strong winds. Even if there is not a tornado on the ground, we could be still talking about winds gusting up to about 70 miles an hour. So you got to treat that. With respect to the straight line wind capabilities of these storms. But some of the heaviest activity and strongest winds right now look to be in Cherokee Woods, Hendersonville. It's going to be pushing on up into Avondale, Ocana. Forgive me if I mispronounce some of these town names. Gallatin, LaGuardo. These areas all need to stay in your safe place, along with Berryville, Old Hickory, Hermitage, even around Mount Juliet, Creekmount, Cairo Bend. Any of these spots, you are all included within this tornado warning. So just stay in that safe place a little bit longer. If you're new to the area, I know a lot of folks been moving down to the Nashville area over the past several years. So if you're coming from somewhere where you're not as familiar with tornado warnings, springtime is a very active time for us, but you need to get into your safe place. And whenever we say that, that's going to be the lowest floor of whatever building you're in. Most interior room, put as many walls between you and the outside of your home or building as you can, and you want to stay away from any windows. Obviously, that glass could break so easily, and then you could be looking at flying glass and anything else that wants to come through that window. So just stay away from any windows and get to the most interior room. If you have an interior bathroom or a closet, that's going to be a good bet for you to keep you safe if there is a tornado on the ground. Katie, I am...
The sirens, I can hear the sirens outside our station, and our producer is actually telling us as well that sirens continue to go off. So we do want to address that and make sure that folks know the Nashville downtown area, the tornado threat has passed. In fact, much of that tornado threat, although we are still in the box here, much of that tornado threat is now moving into Sumner County. But again, wind does continue to be a major concern, and rotation does continue here, I would say, just north of Hendersonville right now. We're also looking at possible rotation near Cherokee Woods. We're also getting real close to the radar site as well, but there are some areas that are picking up some very high winds. Looks like some debris. A road, okay, so a road sign from overhead. Where is that? That's at Vietnam Vets. Okay, so Vietnam Vets, we've got debris in the road there from the wind that just came through the area. And we continue to see, again, the tornado warning continues until 5:30. The threat for a tornado has passed in Nashville. They are trimming back the warning here, so now the tornado warning is just beyond, or just to the edge of downtown Nashville. But as far as the heavy rain and the gusty winds, those do continue. I would say, though, that that threat for a tornado has now moved more into northern Wilson County, and here's Hendersonville and Sumner County. So that's going to be where we have the leading edge, the more intense winds that are possible up to 70 miles per hour. We also do continue to watch the storm up here just to the east of Portland. This is going near Westmoreland and Turner Station. It is a tornado warning that does continue until it's hard to click on the polygon. We've got so many different polygons going on in here. I would assume probably until about 5:30. This one here, I would put the best area of rotation up north near Bon Air, Turner Station. These are spots that we're going to be watching for a possible tornado. Would be around Bon Air and Fairfield in northern Sumner County. Also includes Rocky Mound. And for folks in Westmoreland, I would make sure that you are in your safe spot at this time as well. Providence to Liberty. All spots that could be looking at a potential tornado here, which is why the warning continues with this storm. It looks like, Brett, they just issued a new tornado warning.
They sure did.
So that's going to be for the southern cell, currently in Sumner
Right.
County, moving through Hendersonville.
And Katie, I'm also seeing that the FAA has issued a ground stop for aircraft departing to BNA until 6 p.m., but it looks like aircraft are still departing from BNA. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. But I mean, it is just some extremely strong winds. Like we were saying, these storms, even if it's just a severe thunderstorm, even if there's not a tornado on the ground, we're looking at possible 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts with some of these thunderstorms. These are very, very strong storms that are working their way through parts of Middle Tennessee right now. And I want to zoom in on this newest tornado warning that was issued. I'm also going to bring in some of this information if I can get this. So this was going to be for parts of Sumner County, Trousdale County, Wilson, and Macon counties right here in Middle Tennessee. They issued this tornado warning. There was a severe thunderstorm that was capable of producing a tornado that was located near Gallatin. We're going to move the map around here in just a second.
Just to the west of Gallatin.
Yep.
And I would say too, Brett, probably within this line, we're looking at maybe a few areas of rotation. So best to just track that most of the polygon probably.
Totally. And this is moving quickly too, Katie, at 60 miles an hour. So I'm going to put it back on reflectivity. And you know, we see these lines move in kind of like this, and whenever we get these little notches, we can get some small areas of rotation that can start to pick up. So I'll circle just some of these notches that I'm looking at, like right here on the radar, just anywhere in these sort, not specifically these places, but sometimes in these areas, we can start to see some rotation develop. So we could be looking at a few areas of rotation, but we're going to put a track map on this for you, get you some of these town names so you know about when the ETA on this storm is moving about 60 miles an hour or so to the northeast. So if you're in Gallatin, about 3 minutes away from you, you need to be in your safe place. Graball, again, forgive me if I pronounce some of these, 6 minutes. Liberty, 15 minutes away from you. Hartsville, 17 minutes. Westmoreland, 18 minutes. Pleasant Valley, 21 minutes. Rocky Mound at 23 minutes, and Hayesville, that's going to be the farthest one out right here, 27 minutes away from you if you are in Hayesville. So any of those town names and anywhere in between, especially up there in the parts of Sumner County and into basically the western half of Macon County, also up here into the western half of Trousdale County and very far northern areas of Wilson County. Anywhere within this red flashing polygon, you need to stay in your safe place a little bit longer. There was a severe thunderstorm that was capable of producing a tornado, and there may even be a couple of areas of rotation. We have not been getting the cleanest picture onto the radar. We're very close to the Nashville radar site. Here's the Nashville radar site right here. So this is moving about right over our Nashville radar, but we could still be looking at some rotation within this little jagged line that is continuing to push up to the northeast. NES power outages just went up a lot. I'm sure we'll have more on that in a second. Just got that email that popped through too.
Yeah, 21,000 customers now, NES outages.
Yeah, and it makes total sense, Katie.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, these straight line winds they can do a number on a lot of things. And when you get these coming in at about 70 miles an hour, that is some very intense wind that is going to be whipping through your area. This tornado warning, I believe up here, let me make sure I click on the right one. We have a lot of polygons flashing, a lot of warnings up right now until 5:15. 5:15. That was that tornado warning that was up here in parts of Sumner County. We actually have 2 tornado warnings in Sumner County, but that one that was issued earlier, and that is the northernmost warning right up against the Tennessee and Kentucky line, that tornado warning is going until 5:15. So this should be dropping off of our map at any moment if they do not decide to extend that. I will say the Louisville office up there in Kentucky that covers some of our southern Kentucky counties just has a severe thunderstorm warning out in advance of that storm. So that's a good sign that the area of rotation is not as good on that storm. I'm going to zoom in on this really quickly, and I'm really not seeing many areas of concern with that tornado warning, at least that old tornado warning that should be dropping off of our map at any moment. And there it goes. Okay, so that storm no longer poses a threat. So if you were around Mitchellville or Linda, Cross Plains, if you were in that area, you can go ahead and get out of your safe place right now. Actually, all of those places are excluded from that old tornado warning, but just south of that, like just south of it, we have that new tornado warning that was just issued that's going to go until 6 o'clock. So this is that new tornado warning that we were talking about, where that storm was moving to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. This is going to include areas again like Gallatin. You need to be in your safe place right now. Hartsville, Pleasant Valley, and then on the far northeastern portion of that tornado warning, Lafayette, Westmoreland, Turner Station, even up there in the Green Valley up in Macon County, you are included within this new tornado warning as well. So just a very strong line of storms. It's moving through parts of Davidson County. Katie, I'm going to switch back and forth just to make sure I'm not missing any updates coming over here.
Okay.
In the chat.
Yeah, I see one here. It looks like TDOT is reporting a road closure at I-40 eastbound at mile marker 141 to 143. 6 to 8 trees are reported down across the interstate. So crews are en route. And maybe Kelly, if you can figure out exactly where that is, mile marker 141 to 143 eastbound I-40. So we can give folks a better idea. I don't know mile markers. So if we can get some, or Melissa, if we could get some, just some markers of where exactly that is, so we can give folks a heads up there. So 6 to 8 trees reported down across the interstate on I-40 eastbound. So we'll look into that and see what we can find out in addition to that. So just to kind of recap here, let's reset a little bit for folks that are in Davidson County. Whew, that was a quick storm that just came through. We are now excluded from the tornado warning. We are in the clear from the tornado warning. So everyone in Davidson County in the clear. Still looking at the east side of Davidson County included in this severe thunderstorm warning, though. The tornado warning continues, though, for folks in Gallatin, Sumner County. So this is going to be for Sumner County, and this one will go until 6 o'clock. Along with that, you can see a huge line of severe thunderstorm warnings. These types that you see bow out like this, that is a signature, wind signature. But we were almost right at the center of a very strong wind gust that came through the station not too long ago, and it was intense. I can't remember in my 11 years of being here of a storm being that intense. Which may have been straight line wind damage. So we could be looking at definitely areas of rotation. I'm going to pick out right here just north of downtown in Gallatin that could be dealing with a spin up, a couple spin ups. But really this line is kind of rigidy. So there could be a couple areas that we need to keep our eye on. Looks like another signature here moving through Sumner County. And again, along that leading edge, this, I was mentioning earlier, even with the potential for wind, this is a take shelter kind of severe thunderstorm that is moving through. In the tornado warning as well, of course, we want to make sure we're taking our safety precautions. But this is definitely one for folks in Sumner County. I need you to make sure, and portions of Macon and Trousdale counties, we need to be in our safe spots. And again, we're not going to get a lot of lead time with these. These are moving about 60 miles per hour. So this will be in Westmoreland in 14 minutes, Hartsville 14 minutes, Lafayette in 23 minutes, and White Oak in about 27 minutes from now. Continuing to get updates from our Code Red weather app. So we've got tons of lightning even behind this. One of the things that I like about our app, actually, because it gives you a heads up on lightning. We are going to continue to track this here as a severe line of storms that are passing by. And again, lots of lightning as well still with that storm. It is also possible still that a tornado could be imminent in Sumner County. I need everyone. Gallatin pushing through now, Castilian Springs, Chipman, Halltown, towards Hartsville, and up towards Westmoreland and Lafayette. These are all places that need to be taking shelter immediately for the potential of a tornado and extremely damaging wind. Kelly is at the anchor desk. I believe she has more reports and maybe some video. Kelly?
That's right, Katie. I am tracking outages here in Davidson County and throughout Middle Tennessee as we see this system make its way through. Right now, 21,000 people without power in the NES Nashville electric service area. And those are spread throughout here as I click on all the major areas. In North Nashville, we have about 4,000, 5,000 people out. 2,600 people out in eastern Nashville, a little bit heading more towards North Nashville. We have another 22,400 out. So these are really spread throughout here. As we move to the Cumberland Electric, we've got about 2,500 people out in Robertson County. That was a county that we just had a warning go through. And as I continue to make my way through here, we're seeing about 1,500 out, about 1,500 out in Williamson County. So these are really starting to pop up and spread out throughout our viewing area and throughout Middle Tennessee. Let's bring up some video that was sent in by one of our photojournalists in Hendersonville, Stephen Van Shake. He took this video out of Hendersonville. If we're able to pull that up, you could see those trees really blowing there and hearing that rain and maybe some of that thunder there. You can see just how fast that wind is blowing. So certainly everyone be ready and find your safe place if you are in one of those hotspot warning areas. I'm going to send it back to Katie now.
All right, thanks so much, Kelly. And again, the immediate concern that we have now for Gallatin, now in the thick of it, I need Hartsville, Lafayette, Chipman. This is going to pass 231, Kansas, and even Westmoreland, Long Creek, Cross Lanes. These are some of the smaller communities out in Sumner and Macon County and Trousdale County, and the very northern edge of Wilson County as well. So for Hunters Point to Providence, this is going to be north of Lebanon. So the tornado portion of this storm that we're concerned with possible rotation will be north of Lebanon, but this whole line will be capable of producing winds in excess of 60, perhaps 70 miles per hour. I think we're going to find some of our stronger wind gusts in here as well. Whether or not we have a tornado in progress, we could have some winds up to about 70 miles per hour. So this really is an intense line that continues to work its way across the area here. To the south, I just want to zoom out and take a look at the rest of the line. Turn lightning off. We'll turn that on real fast. Lots of lightning and non-severe storms for now, but all of us picking up torrential rain with these storms that will continue behind this main line. So this is it. This is the main line, the main severe threat for today. Once that passes, we will continue to be very concerned with heavy rain and flash flooding, especially for those along and west of 65, and very concerned for places like Hopkinsville, Clarksville, Camden to Paris, even Dixon, even downtown Nashville and surrounding areas here in Davidson County, Franklin. We've had a lot of rain in a short amount of time in the last 48 hours, and we're going to add an additional 2 to 4 places mainly along and west of 65 under very saturated ground. So that will continue to be a problem as we head through the overnight tonight. Some moderate to intense pockets of rain will be intermittent, and that could really hurt as far as the potential for flash flooding.
Katie, you know how you were talking about just how windy here it got at the station and how heavy the rain was, and it just sounds so different in the studio now because it's just so silent.
It's
so
calm.
This has moved past at least us here in North Nashville. I will say though, about 5:15 or so, as it was moving through around the airport, there was a wind gust recorded at the airport, 67 miles an hour. So that is a measured wind gust that we had of 67 miles an hour as that storm was moving over the airport. The station there measured that wind gust, confirmed at 67 miles per hour. So very strong winds, regardless if there's a tornado on the ground or not. Very, very strong winds. That tornado warning still does include portions of Sumner County on up into Trousdale County and Macon County as well, all included within this tornado warning. That's going to go until 6 o'clock. It is 5:24 right now. I'm going to change back and forth between a couple of products real quick, see if we can get some of these better areas of rotation. And honestly, it still looks like we could see multiple areas. I'm just switching back and forth between a couple of things. It looks like we could be seeing multiple areas on the leading edge of that line, that main line that's moving through areas of Sumner County right now, where we could be seeing some rotation. So you just have to treat this like it is a confirmed tornado on the ground, because it very well could be, if it's not right now, at any moment. So if you're in Sumner County, you need to be in your safe place. Also up here in Trousdale County and parts of Macon County as well. I'm going to put a little tracker on this storm, get you some more of these town names that are going to pop up on this tornado warned storm. These are all moving very quickly too. We'll pull this out about 60 miles an hour or so. So if you're around Liberty, 7 minutes away from you. Westmoreland, it'll be there in about 9 minutes. Hartsville, 10 minutes. Pleasant Valley, 13 minutes from you. Rocky Mountain, 14 minutes now. Lafayette, 17 minutes. Hayesville, 18. And Green Valley, 19 minutes away from you right there. So anybody in this red flashing polygon, you just got to stay in your safe place for a little bit longer. We'll give the all clear when it is good for you to go ahead and get out of your safe place. If you are sheltering in place because of that tornado warning here in Davidson County, that threat has now moved out of your area. So if you live in Davidson County, no parts of Davidson County included within this tornado warning anymore. That threat has moved out. I will say, though, if you're south of I-40 in Davidson County, you're still likely seeing some very heavy rainfall. Areas north of that, not quite as heavy rainfall, but south of that, especially along the Williamson County line with Davidson County and the Rutherford County line, very heavy rainfall in some of those areas. This is the tornado warning that we're still focused on right now. I'm going to see if there's any more updates coming through. I'm not seeing any more updates on this tornado warning. They are canceling that severe thunderstorm warning that was in portions of Davidson County. So right now, if you're in Davidson County, you're not included anymore within a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's good news for us here in Davidson. But up here in parts of Sumner County, Macon County, and Trousdale counties, you still need to be in your safe place for a little bit longer. 6 o'clock, the runtime on this tornado warning, 5:26 right now. So that's about 45 minutes left on this tornado warning right here. I'm going to zoom out and just kind of show you what's going on. We'll pop lightning back up real quick. We're still seeing a very broken, kind of jagged line of storms. It's moving south of Interstate 40, pushing into our more southwestern areas. That'll eventually be closing in on Interstate 65. The good thing with this, though, south of I-40, we are not seeing any severe activity with this just yet. Obviously, some of these have a good bit of lightning, very heavy rainfall, but no severe concern at this moment currently with any of these storms that are in our more southwestern areas. It's really the northeastern portions of our viewing area where we're seeing some of these, some of the more concerning spots popping up on the radar right now. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, and still that tornado warning that's in effect for areas in. This is now going to be moving into the eastern portions of Sumner County, and it's going to keep on moving up a little bit to the northeast if it holds together up there into portions of Trousdale County, up in the Macon County as well. Hartsville and Lafayette still included within that tornado warning, so you need to be in your safe place for a little bit longer if you live in Hartsville, Pleasant Valley, Westmoreland, Lafayette, Turner Station, even up there in the Green Valley and Macon County. Still remain in your safe place for a little bit longer until that threat has moved past your area. If we're seeing any rotation with this, it's really going to be on the leading edge of this storm that is moving into eastern areas of Sumner County right now. Anywhere where we have these little curls popping up, we could be looking at some areas of rotation. Nothing super definitive right now. And Katie, I am not seeing anything. Let's see.
No more reports. We're efforting getting some video on the air because thanks to our viewers, we are getting some videos in and just have to get them through the channels to get them on the air. We do have one. This is from Old Hickory Lake, I believe, and this is very intense. Take a look at that. Let's bring that full screen for a minute if we can. So this was Old Hickory Lake as the storm was pushing in. Very intense looking storm, and of course a huge rain shaft that you see there. So that is all rain that is coming out of the sky. If there were a tornado, it would have likely been rain wrapped because I do not see one on screen. But that is the leading edge of the storm. We are seeing those high winds in this part of the storm and torrential rain as that all pushes in. Even shelf cloud there, it looks like, with that leading edge. But if there was a tornado in there, it was likely rain wrapped, which is pretty typical with these types of storms that we have within a line. So that was a great video coming in from one of our viewers. So I appreciate that. That's great. That's from David Kirby. So that was looking towards Drake's Creek. So once again, we do continue to follow here this tornado warning. It goes until 6 o'clock. This is the extension of the warning here. And again, the velocity as far as where we might have rotation, there may be a few areas that we have to keep an eye on. So I think what our safest bet is, and what Brett and I have been doing here, is basically we're just taking the whole line. Let me do that again. That was messy. We're taking the whole line, and we're tracking the whole line, because regardless if we have something on the ground, the wind itself is going to be dangerous for you. So I need everyone in this line to take shelter. Westmoreland, this is knocking on your doorstep. Turner Station in 4 minutes. 4 minutes to Hartsville. Pleasant Valley in 6 minutes from now. Lafayette in about 12 minutes here. Intense wind up to 60, perhaps 70 miles per hour. In addition to that, we are looking at torrential rain. A lot of lightning with this storm too, although I have the lightning off, so we don't have it up. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting a little bit of hail in some of these storms. The hail cores don't look quite as impressive as they did as it was moving through Davidson and Sumner counties. But this is still quite a bit of rain. And these severe thunderstorm warnings continue to extend out. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm here that's moving through Allen County and into Monroe County in southern Kentucky. So winds in excess of 60 miles per hour with this storm. This was tornado warned at one point, but thankfully the rotation does not look as impressive at the moment. So is a severe thunderstorm, but again, want to take those just as seriously. And then we zoom out and you can see that this line stretches all the way through Tennessee to the Alabama line, but nothing south of 40 is warned on right now, which is great news. However, we will have to continue to watch for flash flooding and flooding concerns over the next several hours here. And we take a look back here. This is going to be a problem later on. I'm going to switch the radar real fast. So this is coming out of Mississippi. This could impact our southern counties. So the severe event for our southern counties south of 40, not done, even though this line is pushing through north of us. We may see some of these, if they hold together, march into our southern counties south of 40 and west to 65. So we'll have to keep a close eye on these Mississippi storms moving into West Tennessee. These ones here will be something we definitely need to be watching. Okay, I'm getting told from my producer in the back that we can go to Kelly. She's got new video, I guess. Kelly?
Well, we're going to check in with Amanda in our steer clear traffic car in just one moment, but I just refreshed, and 38,993 people without power right now in the Nashville area. That's NES, Nashville Electric Service. And as I click on each of these pockets of where the outages are, I can tell you they are spread throughout Davidson County, some in the northern area, east, the south towards Antioch. So lots of people in the dark right now. Other areas not looking very good either as the storm continues to roll through. Let's check in with Cumberland. 3,445 people out in Robertson County, for example, where we had a warning not long ago. We're going to check in with Amanda Chin, who is in our steer clear traffic car right now. She is in the Metro Nashville area, kind of by Metro Center. Let's see if we can get a look at what things look like near Amanda. If we could bring that up.
South right now, coming from Metro Center, going towards downtown Nashville. I'll show you what the roads are looking like right now as we are on I-65 South. There's definitely some heavy rain coming down. So far, we have not seen any trees down or any damage reports right now here. Again, we are just in Metro Center, but I'm sure we will see some as we continue driving. There also seems to be quite a few cars on the road as well. It seems like since it has cleared this area for now. But again, we do have some heavy rain coming down here, and I know that Metro Dispatch just said they have several trees on houses. They couldn't give much info, but we did reach out to Nashville Fire Department as well. That's just some new information we are getting from Metro Dispatch. So, of course, as we continue to see some damage, we will keep you guys updated. But again, as you can see on I-65 North, there is an emergency vehicle going the other way. So perhaps something they're getting to over that way as well. But again, we are on I-65 South. We are just approaching the Charlotte Ave exit right now. Again, just some heavy rains coming down, but we will continue to keep you guys updated. We're going to continue to drive. see what the damage is like out here. But for now, reporting live in Nashville, I'm Amanda Chin.
Thank you, Amanda, and stay safe out there. You saw how wet and slick those roads are. Again, 38,000 people, nearly 39,000 people without power in Nashville right now. And over at Nashville International Airport, there's a ground stop for at least another 25 minutes or so. All planes that are departing have been delayed there. So again, we're seeing the impacts of this throughout Middle Tennessee. I'm going to send things back over to Katie.
All right, thanks so much, Kelly, and appreciate that report from Amanda as well. And I'm sure we'll probably get a few more reports of damage after that real intense wind that came through. Hopefully, though, we will get through this relatively unscathed. But we still have that tornado warning that continues here. This is, again, for northern portions of Trousdale County. This is moving through Hartsville now. Pleasant Valley, Lafayette heads up, moving through Westmoreland, also in the tornado warning, and likely seeing winds in excess of 60, if not maybe 70 miles per hour with this part of the line as it works its way across the area. Brett, I haven't been able to check chat in a while. Have you seen anything about reports?
So I have a couple of things. One, Wilson County was removed from that tornado warning, so good news for Wilson County. If you're watching us from Wilson County, there is no longer a tornado warning that is in your area. The far northeastern portions of Wilson County will zoom in since we have the maps pulled up. But far northeastern areas, Wilson County, that does include Lebanon, included in that severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to go until 6 o'clock. Could still be seeing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds associated with that thunderstorm right there. But the tornado warning has been removed from Wilson County. So now it's just Sumner County, Macon County, and portions of Trousdale County that are dealing with that tornado warning right there. I have been seeing some damage pictures too. Like you heard Amanda saying when she was in the traffic car doing her report, Metro is saying that there are a lot of trees down. I'm seeing one picture right now. This is a pretty, not necessarily a huge tree, but a very tall tree that is down around Haynes Park in North Nashville. And it looks like on this picture too, I'm seeing some power lines down. I know we can't show this picture right now, but I am seeing this tree down, possibly blocking most of that road, maybe over some power lines as well. So Kelly was just reading it too. We have a lot of power outages here, a lot of NES customers, thousands without power right now. I want to zoom back out, and Katie, I know you briefly hit this earlier too, but the severe thunderstorm warnings that are down here in North Mississippi and over into West Tennessee, we're going to have to keep on watching these too. I'm on the Memphis radar side so we can get a little bit better picture. These storms, if I back this up a couple of hours, you can see that these are on that northerly track, so they're going to keep on pushing up to the northeast, and so we're going to have to watch out for some of our southwestern counties just to make sure. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that. I'm going to get radar back to the current image. I will say though that too, the tornado watch was extended. Let me change a couple of things up right here. I'll put us back on the Nashville radar site. But a couple of things real quick with the tornado watch. It was extended. Now, let's see, Pickett and Fentress County is going to be included in that tornado watch. That's going to go until 9 o'clock tonight. It was set to go in Henry, Benton, and Decatur counties until 7 p.m. Those areas have been removed. Some of those storms, though, are kind of on a trajectory to move up into that area. So as of right now, the tornado watch has been removed from Henry, Benton, and Decatur counties.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so we'll just keep an eye out on that. They could always just pop back another county in that watch, but
if I were there, I would keep an eye on an eye on things a few more hours with those storms out of Mississippi. And
then up here in southwest Kentucky, Trigg, Christian, and Todd counties have now been removed from that tornado watch as well. So everybody else, though, all these counties that are highlighted in that shady yellow across a good chunk of Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky included in that tornado watch that's going to be in place until 9 o'clock tonight. I'm going to bounce back and forth here between just a couple of things.
Looks like they're going to issue another warning in Macon and Clay County downstream.
Gotcha. So they're just going to keep it going, basically let it ride out of our viewing area, it looks like.
So Clay County and Macon County, this new warning is going to be coming up here shortly. It's going to be for this storm that's moving through. There it is right there. So there it is. So this is, again, butting up next to another weather service across the state line, which is why it kind of looks weird as a triangle. So we'll be watching, Louisville to see if they will decide to issue a tornado warning for this cell. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, so a different, separate cell that we're tracking here. But the new tornado warning will include Macon and Clay County, and that's going to go until 6:30. And they're just following this line here. Consistently shows not only areas of rotation, but I think damaging wind in excess of 60, maybe 70 miles per hour. So that's something that we really want to be paying attention to here with this line as it continues to work its way across the area. But again, this type of line here, they have all these little notches. These sometimes can indicate a very light or a very weak or very quick spin-up tornado. Not always weak. Sometimes they can be pretty intense. In fact, they're here. New scan coming in does show a little bit more inflow coming in through Long Creek in northern Macon County. So this is going to be pretty close to Lafayette. Heads up in Lafayette, and seeing rotation detection picking up on that as well. So for folks in this area from Rocky Mount to Green Valley, Hayesville, and Long Creek, Lafayette, I would go ahead and take shelter as well from this storm. This continues to show areas of rotation here, and I will say when it starts to bow like this, that's usually indicative of very strong winds that the radar is picking up on. So especially too when you see how it curls out, you see how this all curves like that. That is a bowing effect, and that bow echo is what we look for a strong wind burst. So I think we had a couple of those move through downtown. But still, this is a serious storm. Even if we don't have something in progress, something could drop at any point, and we need to make sure that you are taking those safety precautions immediately. So for folks in Hermitage Springs, as we get more into Clay County, Union Hill, and Denton Crossroads, this is getting into the upper Cumberland now. We've got a tornado warning that'll go until 6:30. So let's regroup here. We've got the tornado warning that continues for Trousdale, Macon, and eastern portions of Sumner County, and that will go until 6. And we have a new one for Macon County and for Clay County, and that will go until 6:30. So that's an extension of the warning that is working its way across the area now. So that main line is really going to be where we're looking at the most intense wind, the most likely spot for a tornado. If we zoom in here, the backside of this tornado warning, getting very intense wind and rain still through Westmoreland to Bledsoe and Old Bethpage. And that leading edge, though, is going to be that main concern for a possible spin up at any point, along with the highest wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. So we appreciate everyone that's been able to safely send us video through our Chime In page. You can do that on our website, fox17.com. Really easy to do so. So if you do have video and you would like to share it, please do so. Head to fox17.com and chime in. But again, for folks that are in Macon County and in Trousdale and Sumner County and then Clay County, most concern for you right now is to take shelter from this leading edge as it moves through. But again, this main line as we back out is going to be, this is it as far as the severe threat is concerned, but we are not done in our northern counties, I should add. We're not done with the flood threat. That is going to linger through this evening and likely into the overnight, depending on how much more rain we could see. It's not going to take much for us to get flash flooding because the ground is so saturated from the last few rounds that we've had here. So I mentioned that once this part of the line passes through for our northern counties, the severe threat is pretty much done. However, as we look back to the west, we will have to watch these storms coming out of Mississippi. So again, I would say that the immediate concern once this main line passes is over, but our overall threats will continue through this evening here with more severe thunderstorms back to the west toward Memphis. I do want to note too, real fast, this green box that you see here flashing, that is a flash flood emergency for Memphis. And they have been under that for a few hours now. A lot of Memphis, unfortunately, in the town, in downtown, dealing with very high water. So those are fairly rare. We've had a few here in Nashville in the past, but those are not taken lightly and they're not issued lightly either. So flash flood emergency for folks in Memphis this evening. So back over here again, we continue to track non-severe thunderstorms, Nashville and points south. That's good news. But again, the concern is still there. The threat is still there. Our tornado watch goes until 9 o'clock. So it'll be a while before we can give you an all clear. But the immediate concern with this first line, it is now past Nashville, of course, past Clarksville and Dixon. Gallatin now, the main part of this line has passed you. But we continue to monitor the storm as it works its way through Lafayette. Just north of Lafayette is probably where that best rotation is, moving in Long Creek to Green Valley and Lafayette. This is some really strong winds. Let's put a cursor on that here, a little dropper, as I call them. It gives us an idea. And keep in mind too, we're looking a little higher up in the sky because of our radar site, which is situated at Old Hickory in the Nashville area. And now we're going to be scanning a little higher up in the sky, so we're scanning just above the surface here as far as these winds. I think we could be looking at winds at least 65 to 70 miles per hour with this line here.
These have just had such strong winds,
Yeah.
as they've been pushing through. Katie, I've got a little track map on this, give you an ETA on some of these town names.
Yep.
So like you were saying earlier, we had that tornado warning that was issued by the National Weather Service office here in Nashville. So that's why it kind of looks a little weird, and it stops right here at the state line, the Tennessee and Kentucky state line. That's going to be up to the Louisville National Weather Service office on whether they decide to extend that tornado warning up there into portions of our counties in in the far northeastern portion of our viewing area in southern Kentucky. But so I've got some of these town names for you. White Oak, 1 minute. Sunrise in 4 minutes. Red Boiling Springs, 6 minutes till it gets to you. Hermitage Springs, 10 minutes. And these are going to, okay, and they did just go ahead and extend that, the Louisville.
I think concerned there, Brett, with there's a little bit of rotation near Cold Springs Road headed toward Green Valley, just north of Long Creek. You see that here?
We're going to zoom in on this
right here. So there's the new
updated.
scan. Yeah, so right around Green Valley, this is going to be near the state line. So I would say this is all really high wind right here, but there was a little bit of a notch that was right around Long Creek and Green Valley. I was looking up at a couple other sources.
If you put on the storm relative velocity I'm on the Nashville radar site, I think you can see it a little bit better right here around the Green Valley area. So yeah, still seeing some rotation right there. So National Weather Service office up there in Louisville, they decided to go ahead and make the call. They're going to extend that into their coverage area that we also cover here at Fox 17. So Monroe County now going to be included within this tornado warning, as well as Cumberland County, Kentucky, included within this extension. Really, it's basically all the same tornado warning, just two different National Weather Service offices having to issue these two different warnings. But this is something that you got to stay in your safe place for, especially up here in parts of Macon County. We're going to zoom in, try to move it away so you don't get it caught up underneath that banner either. So if you're in northeastern portions of Macon County, you need to be in your safe place right now, especially like we were just talking about Green Valley. Stay in your safe place. That area of rotation, a decent area of rotation, could be right around your area. Gallatin, Enon, Sunrise, Bug Tussle, Spivey, Acresville, Harlan Crossroads up here in Monroe County, Freetown, and then up here into northwestern portions of Clay County. We're talking areas like Hermitage Springs, Clementsville, Denton Crossroads, Pine Hill, Union Hill, and Bowles, all in this the path of this tornado warning. I don't have any confirmation still that there has been any tornado confirmed with this tornado warning right here, but like we were saying, you really just got to always treat these like they are potentially on the ground, because they could definitely be on the ground in a moment's notice in an environment like this. I'll zoom out too and just kind of give you an overview of exactly what's going on. So we'll back out, just kind of reset everything for you. Still have these couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. These are going to be over here into West Tennessee and North Mississippi. So this is going to be the area that we're watching for some of these storms to keep on moving up on that northerly track. We'll be keeping an eye out on those, but for the most part, here in Middle Tennessee, if you're south of Interstate 40, you're not really seeing much severe activity going on right now at all. There are no severe thunderstorm warnings issued for south of I-40, at least in our coverage area here in Middle Tennessee. The worst of the activity that we're still tracking is going to be this part of the line right here around Lafayette. It's moving over Lafayette right now. If you're in Lafayette, you're probably getting really strong winds still, and some very heavy rain will pop on the lightning, a little bit of lightning with that storm still too, but very strong winds with this. You need to stay in your safe place for a little bit longer if you're up here in parts of Macon County on over into northwestern areas of Clay County, as well as Monroe County, Kentucky, and Cumberland County, Kentucky, and really even over here into the far southeastern portions of Allen County, Kentucky. You need to stay in your safe place for a little bit longer as well. This is that same storm, the same part of that storm really, that moved all the way up from Dixon County on into Cheatham County, through Davidson and up there into Sumner County, and now it's pushed on over into parts of Macon County. I'm going to put a little time time lapse on this right here. We're going to take it out about 2 or 3 hours and just show you how well that portion is held together. So here it is, very strong. As I was moving through Dixon, it was tornado warned back then. That threat moved past, and then it moved up into Davidson County, and that line just kept on just pushing out with the help of those 60 to 70 mile an hour winds with that storm. And as it moved around the Nashville area, here at B&A at the Nashville airport, there was that recorded wind gust of 67 miles per hour. So very strong. We may even have some wind gusts that have been a little bit higher than that. We've been seeing several pictures of trees that have fallen down on the ground. I've seen pictures of trees on power lines, which has led to obviously some of the power outages. The last report that I saw, an email come through, it was saying something about 40,000 or so NES customers without power. So very strong winds have kind of done a number on that. Very heavy rain too. If you're in the far southeastern part of our viewing area, it has really been pretty calm for you this week. The bulk of the activity has stayed a little bit to the northeast of you. And matter of fact, we're going to go over here. I had some maps already made that I was working on before all this got really crazy today. So I've got some of these 5-day rainfall totals that are plotted out on this map. Down here in the southeastern part of our viewing area around McMinnville, Tullahoma, and Winchester, these areas have seen very little rainfall, but move up a little bit northwest on Interstate 24, and we're talking a huge change in the rainfall numbers, especially up here in southwest Kentucky and far northwestern portions of Middle Tennessee. We've seen anywhere from about 8 to 12 up to almost 13 and 14 inches for parts of our viewing area, and then we're going to add on another 3 or 4 inches as this all moves through today, about another 1.5 inches probably, as that heaviest of the activity has now moved past that area. But flash flooding is going to be a concern for some of these areas, so you just got to keep that in mind if you're included with any of that. If you come up across any flooded roadways, not a good idea to try to drive across those. Just try to find you a better way to get around it. Turn around and just find you a different route. That's going to be the safest thing you can do, because about half of the flash flood deaths or deaths associated with flash flooding occur simply from people trying to drive through flooded roadways. So about half of those are kind of avoidable. So you just got to find you a different way to get around there. Want to go back to this tornado warning too, because this is still the most imminent threat. I'm going to go back to chat, and I'm not seeing any new information coming out about any of this. I'm not seeing any.
I think they're just reinforcing the line, just how strong it is.
For sure.
Has a history of wind gusts of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Within the line here, and the tornado warning still continues. I think too, mainly for this high wind threat, because this is take shelter kind of wind that we continue to see. It has a history of doing damage. We are starting to get at least see a few pictures and reports of damage within the line as it continues to work its way now through Middle Tennessee and more so into southern Kentucky. So we still see, I still see a little bit of a notch right around the state line, Ackersville in Kentucky, but the Tennessee and Kentucky state line, that's going to be, I think, where we have a little bit of a notch, also a little bit of a notch here near Green Valley. So this type of line that's pushing through is going to bring very strong winds. And then a couple of these little notches could produce a quick spin-up tornado, which is why, again, I think it's good that they have this warning that is still going on, even though we have not heard of a confirmed tornado yet, because these winds are so strong. And again, at any point, we could have something very quick spin up and then dissipate as we get into the next couple of minutes here. So we do continue to see a very strong line of wind with a possible tornado here, which is why this tornado warning continues and pushes more near Red Boiling Springs, Hermitage Springs, and into Clay County, and then just north of that into Kentucky. So more into Monroe County. This will be moving into Tompkinsville. It does also include Cumberland County in Kentucky until 6:30. So that is the severe, most imminent threat that we have at the moment through Middle Tennessee, back through Nashville. We are okay at the moment, but we will have to continue to watch storms that are building to our south here and see what they end up doing as we get into the later evening hours. I did see, Brett, I was looking at some of the short-term models, and it did look like they wanted to bring in a second wave of some pretty intense rainfall, if not maybe a few strong thunderstorms, if this line here didn't take away the energy for severe weather for the day.
Yeah, and if that did that, Katie, that would just add kind of to that flash flood threat. So that's going to be something else that we're definitely having to monitor too. And I want to go back to this tornado warning that we were just showing you. Katie just had it up on here. This is going to be for portions of Macon County up into northwestern areas of Clay County and up here into Tompkinsville too. This is that same area of that line that moved through parts of Davidson County. And I want to draw a line so you can kind of see where it's bowing out, how it kind of has that bow shape to it. Sometimes with these bows, on the top part of these bows around these areas, we can get a little bit of rotation that tries to develop. So there might be a little bit of areas that we're watching for a little bit of rotation with this. And so you can see the bow right here where it kind of bows out, and then right here on the northern part of this bow kind of wrapping around the backside around Eckersville and Bug Tussle, right here on the Tennessee and Kentucky state line. We could be looking at a little bit of area of rotation that could be a possible tornado. We'll see, but this is still tornado warned, and I think this is going to be an area where you really need to be in your safe place. If you're right up here just to the east of Bug Tussle, just to the east of Eckersville and just north of Bug Tussle, this area of rotation is the spot that I'm looking at where if we have a tornado, that's going to be the best possible place for it to be. This is right here on the Tennessee and Kentucky state line. We'll get you some of these town names. We're up here in Monroe County. I know I'm zoomed in really far, but we're up here in Monroe County, Deep Ford Road, Bug Tussle Road. Let me move this around Fountain Road, moving on up into Freetown. If you're familiar with this area or if you live in this area in Monroe County, you need to be in your safe place right now. This would be the best area of rotation where I've circled in that blue color right there. We just got a new radar scan that updated, and it's still looking about the same area. So just stay in your safe place for a little bit longer until this threat officially passes across your area. Even down here, though, if you're not included within the severe thunderstorm, I'll change products real quick. If you're not included in the tornado warning, but you're in the severe thunderstorm warning, like areas in Jackson County, and then also up here into parts of Clay County, too, the more southern and eastern portions of Clay County, the spots that are in the severe thunderstorm warning, we've seen this line already producing almost 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So that is something that you cannot take lightly. I've been seeing a lot of pictures and reports of trees down around the Nashville area as this storm, this same exact portion of this storm, just pushed right through these areas, producing about 65, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Brought down quite a few trees, it looks like. So that's something that we're going to be trying to get some more reports on as we go through the rest of the night. I haven't seen any updates on the power outages, but I know at one point, about probably 30, 45 minutes ago, NES was reporting over 40,000 power outages. So we'll see if we can get some of those here in just a little bit for you, too. But it's still this tornado warning up here that's going to go until 6:30 for parts of Monroe County, Kentucky, on up into Cumberland County, along back south now of the state line in the portions, northwestern portions of Clay County and northeastern areas of Macon County still included within this tornado warning. So just stay in your safe place for a little bit longer. We'll let you know when that threat has passed and you are all clear to get out of that. Tompkinsville, you need to be in your safe place right now. I'm going to put another little track on this, give you an ETA on when the storm is going to get to you. Let me redraw that. Just updated, so I'll get it on the most recent scan right here. We'll take it from the leading edge of this, moving northeast at about 60 miles per hour. Hermitage Springs, 1 minute away from you. Jeffrey, 2 minutes away. Union Hill, 7 minutes. Tompkinsville, 6 minutes. Bowles, 7 minutes. Rockbridge, if you're living there, 9 minutes away. Martinsburg, 19 minutes. And then up into Burkesville, 25 minutes away from you. So just stay in your safe place in these areas until this threat has cleared past you. But we are still probably looking at some very strong winds where you see these brighter shades of red popping up, indicating very strong winds. I'll see if I can get some wind speeds on here. So 62 miles an hour. This is going to be a little bit higher up, so it may be just a little bit lower, but 60 miles an hour or so going to be possible with this line as it continues to push, or with this little bowing portion of this as it keeps on pushing up to the northeast. We could be looking at winds gusting 60 to 65 miles an hour or so around that area. So like we were talking when we first hopped on here, when we had those strong severe thunderstorms, even if the wind isn't rotating, if it's just straight line wind damage, that can obviously create a lot of issues as well. And then the ground's just very saturated too, so that may be why we're seeing some more of these trees blowing down. With the addition of that strong wind, the ground's already very saturated, so it's going to be a little bit easier for that stronger wind to knock some trees down. Let's see, I'm not seeing anything, Katie, coming in on any new...
No, I don't see
warning. So that right now is still the only warning that we have up. Way up here in the Northeast. I'm also just hearing that the FAA canceled the ground stop at BNA, so it looks like
That's good.
those flights are going to be able to come back and land or start landing again here in Nashville. So that is good, and you know it makes total sense because the worst of that, at least the strongest wind portion, I'm zoomed out really wide right here, has pushed south of Nashville now, and you can see this line right here from about Lawrenceburg up through Columbia, Murfreesboro, and then moving on up into parts of southeastern counties in southern Kentucky up into Tompkinsville. So this is the leading edge of that line right here, and these are all the warnings that we have going on right now over here. It's in the far northeastern portions of our viewing area. These severe thunderstorm warnings and the tornado warning all set to go until either 6:30 or 6:45. We kind of have a cluster of warnings right up here. So this is going to be the main area of focus. We're going to look and see a little bit more of this. We also have crews that are reaching out to Dixon and Hickman County emergency managers for any just possible damage reports coming out of there. So we have a lot of people behind the scenes that are helping us out too, trying to gather reports out there, just seeing what it looks like even on the roadways right now. So we have Amanda as well in the traffic car. I'm not sure if that means that we're going to go to Amanda, but okay, so we're going to get you another report coming in from Amanda as well. And then actually we're going to go to Kelly right now, and then we're going to get to Amanda to show us what it's looking like out there on the roads.
All right, well, the outages keep piling up. At this point, NES, that is Nashville Electric Service, we're seeing 56,000 people out, and a whole lot of those, more than 15,000, are out in the Antioch area. But I can tell you those are really spread throughout the NES Davidson County area, the northern portion of it, eastern, Antioch, the southern area. They're just everywhere. Lots of people in the dark right now for NES. As we move along, some other areas that have been impacted as this system came through or continues to make its way. 1,500 people out in Williamson County, about 3,800 out in Wilson County. As far as where we think a lot of the action is right now in that Macon County area, sort of northern parts of Tennessee, we're seeing about 1,800 folks out for the Tri-County Electric Service. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. And right now we're going to send things over to Amanda Chin, who is in our steer clear traffic car in the Madison area, where Amanda tells us there are a lot of traffic lights just out of power. So that obviously creates a lot of dangerous situations. If we can pull up Amanda.
Hey Kelly, yes, we are in Madison on Gallatin Pike right now, and as you can see, I'm going to show you, switch the camera right here so you can see we're going through a traffic light right now that has no power, and a few of them in this area in Madison don't have power right now. You can see also a lot of the businesses around here, lights out. You can see some of them with the lights on. I assume they have a generator going on right now, which is what's keeping their power going. But again, you see another light, a traffic light we are passing now without power. And as we were going through some of the side streets here in Madison, we did see some debris, some branches down. You can probably see a few branches to the left of your screen right there if you're looking. But again, we just have seen some debris back there. Again, with those traffic lights, it was causing a bit of a delay, as you know, some people treating them as four-way stops if the traffic light isn't working and everything like that. But again, we are in Madison. We haven't seen too many damage reports as we're driving through here on Gallatin Pike. But again, the power outage certainly affecting those here in Davidson County, specifically those here in Madison. But we'll send it back to you guys for now.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And we do have new video coming in from the Murfreesboro area from Sarah Shiverdecker. She is the assistant director here at Fox 17 News. So let's see if we can show what she's looking at. Some very ominous looking clouds. We have used that word. Are those shelf clouds, Katie and Brett? What are we looking at here?
Those look like just some dark storm clouds off in the distance. They're actually in Murfreesboro, getting ready to see the leading edge of the storms move in now. So they might be seeing a shelf cloud now, but that's off in the distance, likely a shelf cloud, but way off in the distance, not right next to Murfreesboro. But they are actually seeing that line move in at the moment. It is non-severe, so that is good news as well.
And
Go ahead, Brett.
Oh, I was just going to get back up here real quick to this tornado warning, this severe thunderstorm warning up here in our far northeastern areas. It's still very strong winds right here. You can see where the strongest winds are right here, kind of around this blue line. And that's where we're still seeing this whole portion kind of bowing out at. And like we were saying earlier, kind of on the northern portions of the bow sometimes, you can start to get a little bit of that wrapping around and we can see a little bit of rotation. So right here, if we change over to the storm relative velocity, which kind of helps us see the rotating portions of the storm a little bit better, you can see this area of concern right here. This is going to be right here around the Tompkinsville area where we're seeing some of this better rotation. So this is the area that we really need to be paying attention to. If you're in Tompkinsville, you need to be in your safe place right now. I'm going to zoom in, try to get you some of these road names if you're familiar with this area, or if you're living in this area, just go ahead and get to your safe place. So Tompkinsville, Grandview, Forkton, Rockbridge, Meshack, Persimmon, all these areas need to go ahead and get to your safe place. That's going to be the lowest floor of whatever building you're in. You can see we just had another radar, and this little gap that I'm seeing, this kind of where it's purple right here on the leading edge, and then you kind of have the lower reflectivity colors like the greens and the yellows piling in from the backside. We're looking at some very strong winds right here in this general area. So Tompkinsville, you're going to be seeing some really strong winds in just a second. Grandview, Forkton, there was also that area of rotation that I was looking at as well. So we have this area that we're watching, Forkton, Grandview, Rockbridge, Tompkinsville, all need to be in your safe place right now. You are included within this tornado warning. It's going to go until 6:30. So we'll be talking about some of these road names: Hay to Lyons Road, East Bush Hog Road, Magnolia Street, Center Point Road, let's see, Poplar Log Church Road, and I'm going to get a few more of these if I can, but as I zoom in, they get smaller, so I can't really read some of these. But Dot Drive, anywhere up in this area around Monroe County, Kentucky, Mud Lick, Forkton, Grandview, Tompkinsville, Rockbridge, Meshack, Persimmon, all need to be in your safe place right now. This is going to be that main concern that we're looking at. Freetown, Gumtree, all stay in your safe place for a little bit longer until this threat has moved on. It should be moving on pretty quickly too. These storms are all moving very quickly earlier, and probably still right now too. They were all moving at about 60 miles per hour. I'll put another track on here and draw this from the leading edge. Okay, it looks like we just had a radar scan update too, and it's still this area right here that we need to be paying attention to. If you're living around Tompkinsville, like I was saying earlier, stay in your safe place right now. But this whole line will move it out about 60 miles per hour. And we'll be talking areas like Rockbridge in about 2 minutes. And then this is going to be on the far northeastern edge of that tornado warning. This is Burkesville, 18 minutes away from you in Burkesville. So stay in your safe place too if you're living in Burkesville right now. Because once we put up the storm relative velocity up here, this shows us where the better area of rotation is. And it's still pretty tight right here. I'm on the Nashville radar site, so I'll zoom out. Real quick, got an update. More than 54,000 customers, NES without power. That's another update coming in. Email just came through. But as I zoom out here on my screen, the radar that we're on is right here. And this is going to be to the northeast of that. So these reds are the winds that are going to be going away from that, and the greens, the winds that are going towards that radar. And this is where we're seeing the best area of rotation. So it's going to be this area that we need to really be paying attention to. And if you're living here, that you need to be paying attention to. So Rockbridge, Persimmon, Grandview, Tompkinsville, Mud Lick, Meshack, some of these town names that I've been calling out, Debris, all of y'all stay in your safe place for a little bit longer. That tornado warning is still set to go until 6:30 if it does not get extended, and it is 6:07 right now. I'm not seeing anything.
It really is moving fast.
It's moving so fast. So
yeah, 60 miles per hour is real fast for a line.
Very fast. So you won't have to stay there for a whole lot longer. So just ride it out for a little bit longer, and then you'll be all good to go to come out of there once this threat has moved past you.
There really is, though, some rotation here. Brett's been talking about it. Good eye. So we continue to see Forkton to Rockbridge and Persimmon. That's all going to be in Monroe County. And then Cumberland County heads up. This main line will be pushing through. And I'd say that's where the best rotation is for potential tornado. But the rest of the line continues to show wind gusts in excess of 60, maybe 70 miles per hour. And within that line, too, it's very easy that we could find a spin-up tornado. So for folks near Forkton, just north of Tompkinsville, that looks to be where we have the best rotation for potential tornado. But the entire line, again, is showing the winds in excess of 60, perhaps 70 miles per hour. I do want to note, too, if we have not done so yet, the fact that we are looking at still Macon County for Mel in the back. Update to my email. update to my email, though, for the tornado warning. We have just 4 counties in there, so I misread and sent something else. So we have Monroe County and Cumberland County in southern Kentucky, and those go till 6:30. We also still have Macon County included in the tornado warning, but should probably be trimmed shortly. And then we also have Clay County in Tennessee. Those are the 4 that are in the tornado warning for now. So we'll continue to follow this part of the line. That also looks to be the main part of the line that's most likely producing the highest wind gusts. And you can see how it just sort of bends out like that. We call that a bow for obvious reasons, but that's typically where we'll end up seeing higher wind gusts within those lines. So we are watching this one area very closely. I'm going to zoom back out. Again, the rain will continue to be a big problem for us here. We're not done yet. As we head through the evening, our severe threat will begin to shift more into a flash flood threat. We do continue to have a tornado watch in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. And I think one of the reasons why we will still see that is because of these storms back here in Mississippi. May impact some of our southern communities, those south of 40, perhaps marching north of 40 as well. It will be interesting to see as the line marches east, how much it interacts with air that is already stabilized from this first round that has moved through. So if we put it in motion, you can see it does have a northern trajectory a little bit, but also more easterly. So we expect this to push through as we head through the evening hours for tonight. And that second batch of heavy rain will be concerning for the potential of flash flooding again in a lot of areas that had very heavy rain late Wednesday into Thursday morning that created flooding concerns for a lot of places, mainly along North 40 and then west of 65. So we're still in the thick of it as far as our overall threat is concerned, and may continue as we head through the overnight. So please, as we head through the overnight, make sure you still have those ways to stay alert. For the overnight hours, it'll mainly be a flooding threat. For now, it is flooding and severe weather until this whole line pushes through. But we'll take this out even more, and you can see that the rain is just relentless and it continues. In fact, I'll put it in motion. The rain itself is not moving very fast. The leading edge of the line is pushing through quite fast, but all this rain behind it is moderate rainfall that'll just continue to add up in those rain gauges, and that I think will continue through the overnight. So that's why we are very concerned with flash flooding across the area here. I'm going to go back over to our Nashville site and still watching the line through Macon County. It looks like they've trimmed the warning. So let's
Macon
stop
Clay,
it
and
here.
I added that now.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the lapse. Okay. So yes, Macon is now out, is in the clear of the warning. We've got Clay County that is in the clear, but still watching as this main line moves through. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning, a couple of these little notches that we really want to keep an eye on. So not in the clear completely, but as far as the latest warning, that has been allowed to expire. But we still have the tornado warning in effect for Monroe County and into Cumberland County in southern Kentucky. So
Looks like
that's
some of
what we're
this
following here.
Best rotation, Katie, is going to be right over the Grandview area.
Okay.
Up here into Monroe County, Kentucky. I've got that circled. I'll zoom in, so you can see this right here. But right here around the Grandview area, it looks like where we could be seeing some of this best rotation. This is going to be right around Idrew Street in Grandview, around North Magnolia Street and Radio Station Street too. So all these areas in Monroe County, you need to be in your safe place around Rockbridge, Persimmon. This storm is still moving up to the northeast. I'll clear that off real quick. Still moving up to the northeast. That's going to be pushing out of our viewing area here before a whole lot longer, but it is going to be crossing over from Monroe County into Cumberland County. So if you're living in Cumberland County, not seeing anything just yet, but it is right on the Monroe and Cumberland County line. So you just got to stay in your safe place until this storm threat passes. It's going to go until 6:30, this tornado warning. Right now, though, we're looking at some very strong winds still with this storm. If I pop this over, still seeing some strong winds and that possible area of rotation right here between around Forkton and Tompkinsville. I'm going to go over here and see if there's any reports from the National Weather Service office in Louisville. They're saying they haven't heard of any damage reports yet out of Tompkinsville, so that is good news. Hopefully that stays like that. There is a little bit of rotation though, but the question is, this is going to be a little bit higher up, so is it making its way all the way down to the ground or not? And right now, don't have any confirmed damage reports. But you got to always treat these like there could be a tornado on the ground. That's something that we always have to be paying attention to in environments like this, where these storms, they were getting really strong really quickly and really pushing some strong winds through Davidson County. As that same part of that storm line was moving through here, it is now all the way up here into our far northeastern portions of our viewing area, just moving very quickly off to the northeast. We still have all these storms that are going on down here south of Interstate 40. The good news for all of this, though, none of this is severe thunderstorm warning. There is some lightning with some of these and some pockets of very heavy rainfall, but no severe warnings, no tornado warnings, no severe thunderstorm warnings for anywhere in our coverage area south of Interstate 40 here in Middle Tennessee. This continues to be the main area of focus right here, and you can really see this bow that is still on the radar. I mean, just clear as day right there. Very strong winds on the leading edge of that. These storms earlier were we were getting 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gusts, 67 mile an hour confirmed gust here at B&A at the Nashville airport. So very strong winds, straight line wind damage will be a concern with some of these storms. Already seeing some of the products of that with all the trees down and some of the power lines down, but very strong winds have just been pushing through Tompkinsville recently. And if you are in Cumberland County, Kentucky, around Burkesville too, you're going to be seeing some of this strong wind. You're probably even seeing some of the strong wind, but strong wind is knocking on your doorstep along with some very heavy rainfall, a little bit of lightning with these too. Like we were saying earlier, no reports of a confirmed tornado or anything, but there's still some rotation that our computer, when we look at this wind product, is looking at. This tells us the winds that are going towards and away from the radar, where we're seeing the better area of rotation. It's going to be right here around the Grandview area and Tompkinsville area still.
Might be a couple there up near Rockbridge and Forkton.
There could be. So another one about right in this general area, right to the little bit to the right of that lightning strike that just popped off the screen. But yeah, could be seeing a couple areas of rotation too with that. And a lot of times when these storm lines are kind of raggedy like that, you can kind of get these little notches that we were showing you as it was pushing through, where you can have a few areas of rotation going on within the same general area. So it's just something that we always have to watch, but we'll continue to let you know when it's safe for you to get out of your safe place. If you live in, we're going to go over here a little bit to the west of Forkton, so Emberton, Jeffrey, Freetown, Gamaliel, Acresville, Fountain Run, any of these areas that were included within the tornado warning, you are now all good to get out of your safe place. That tornado threat has now pushed to the east of you, and you've been clipped out of that tornado warning. So it's going to be basically for the eastern half of Monroe County, and then much of Cumberland County included within this tornado warning too. It is right here on the edge of the Monroe County and Cumberland County line in southern Kentucky. So this is going to be the area that we're watching. If you're in Cumberland County, it's going to be in your area within a very short amount of time. I'll put a storm track on this, try to get some of these names to pop up on the screen. These were all moving at about 60 miles an hour, so we'll pull this out about 60 miles an hour. Some of these are going to be a little bit outside of our viewing area probably, but only getting a couple to pop up. But if you're in Burkesville, it's going to be right around you in 7 minutes. So Burkesville, stay in your safe place for a little bit longer too. We still have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings up in this area, but other than that, everything else is still behaving itself south of Interstate 40. I'll go back and forth, still not seeing anything out of Tompkinsville, so we'll take that as good news for right now.
Hopefully. And hopefully this line will move out pretty quickly here. I've got a couple cameras that I've been cycling through. Of course, all these locations now in the clear from this first little round that came in. But Springfield still looking fairly wet. Gallatin also looking quite wet and cloudy. And we continue to see, I'd say, improving conditions here downtown. Now can see the skyline, so that's good. Broadway camera's frozen. And Metro Center camera here looking better than it did as well when we had that intense wind come through the station. So we continue to watch and see these cameras. Looks like our downtown cameras also might be frozen. I don't see the cars moving on that one. Again, we're continuing to watch this area that's just on the northern edge of our viewing area here through Monroe County, and will clip portions of Cumberland County. The most concerning area continues to be around Rockbridge now, and we'll continue pushing more just outside of the Fox 17 viewing area. And within the line, we will still be watching some pretty intense winds with this storm. Now the tornado warning goes until 6:30, so it'll go for another about 10 minutes, and then they will reassess on what they need to do as far as reissuing a tornado warning, or if they'll move forward with this thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service in Nashville has already done that here for Clay County, and so we're likely still seeing winds in excess of 60 miles per hour that are possible, but we're looking at this line to push through over the next couple of hours.
Katie, I think it's time for a battery change for you. We've been on the air for a while now. Our mics are just eating through these batteries, but here's what we're looking at still, this line of thunderstorms. Some of these are severe. A lot of these, though, are not severe, so that's very good news. If you're south of Interstate 40, these storms really not as bad as they could be right now. You are under that tornado watch still until 9 o'clock, but the storms right now south of Interstate 40, they're still behaving themselves. It's just up here in the northeastern parts of our viewing area where I'm going to zoom in on right now is where we're still having to watch for some very strong winds and possibly a little bit of rotation, too, enough for them to go ahead and at least hold on to that tornado warning. It looks like for another 10 minutes or so, set to expire at 6:30 current time. It is 6:30 or 6:20 right now, but very strong wind still right here on the leading edge of this line right here. We're going to put this on and we can get you some of these estimated wind speeds right here. These may be just a little bit high because we are looking up a little bit higher in the atmosphere, but it may have dropped down a little bit, but we're still probably seeing 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, maybe probably still maybe 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts closer to the surface. So we could be looking at some straight line wind damage in some of these areas too. We've already been seeing that as it moved through parts of Davidson County. Some strong winds brought down some power lines and brought down some trees on top of power lines too. That's going to be, I want to go back over here real quick. No information coming out from Louisville. National Weather Service office on any updates on this tornado warning, if they're going to keep this going or extend it or just let it expire once we hit 6:30. So as it stands right now, if you're in Burkesville, I put it back up on this mode. This is now crossing over into at least the heaviest part of the storm. Can't say for sure if there's a tornado with this though, but it is now crossing over into Cumberland County, and we're looking at areas like Burkesville, Bow, Green Cove, Kettle, Claywell, Bakerton all need to be in your safe place and just stay there for a little bit longer until this threat has passed you. We'll change products. There may be a couple areas that are trying to rotate with this storm, but still not seeing any reports coming in of any sort of confirmed tornadoes.
I think we do have at least an update on our power outage situation here, so I want to send it over to Kelly, who's got an update. You can also see the map behind her too, which is behind me as well. That this is showing now over 30% of Davidson County without power.
Let me just say one thing real quick, Kelly. National Weather Service office in Louisville said that the rotation is not as tight, which we were just looking at on the radar as it once was. So they're likely just going to go a severe thunderstorm warning as an extension of this and put a little tornado possible description in there too. So we're going to take that as good news right now. And Kelly, we want to get over to what you got too.
That's right, Brett. We've got about 54,000 people out in Davidson County right now, and that really spans the entire NES area. Many of them, I can tell you, in the Antioch area or the southern Nashville area, but we're seeing a lot in the northern area, the western area, as well as eastern Nashville. If you click on towards the left of your screen on that map, if you do bring this up at home, you'll see maroon outages. Those are the more severe ones that you could click on and really see where they're concentrated, but just tens of thousands of people in the dark right now in Davidson County. As I move north to where we're seeing a lot of action right now, the Tri-County Electric Service, that's Cumberland County in Kentucky, Macon County, Clay County, Sumner County here in Tennessee. We're seeing about 6,680 people out in that area right now. So those outages are really starting to pile up where we're seeing the action now. There's a whole lot, about 5,000 concentrated in the Lafayette area. Forgive my pronunciation on that. And I can see that throughout the other parts of the Tri-County Electric area, particularly more towards Tennessee, we're seeing hundreds more there. So certainly a lot of people in the dark, but crews are working. Some of the outages have gone down. Robertson County had a few thousand about an hour or so ago, and they're down significantly at this point. Sumner County is down except for the specific Gallatin area. In Gallatin, we are still seeing about 2,600 customers out. So a lot of people dealing with it, but we are seeing some progress in fixing these outages as well. I'm going to send it back to Katie at this point.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much. And again, with all those reports of power outages, this is a visual for you here across Middle Tennessee. I've zoomed in a little bit just since our southern counties have yet to see that line push in. But Davidson County here in this orange, that is 30% of the county now without power due to these outages here. We're looking at that green to be about 10% without power, and blue is less than 10%. So we will likely see, and I did see a report from NES saying that the power outages could go up, as Kelly was talking about. So keep that in mind, that we'll be looking at some trouble spots here as far as power goes. Fortunately, with the rain, at least through Davidson County, it's a little lighter at the moment, but behind that, we still have several rounds of showers and thunderstorms that will continue. So to recap again with this Monroe and Cumberland County, Kentucky storm, as Brett mentioned, the warning goes until 6:30, so it is in effect for another 5 minutes. But they are saying rotation has weakened here, and they will likely drop the tornado warning and add in a severe thunderstorm warning in its place. These winds are still pretty intense, so we don't want to take that lightly, knowing that we could find winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. And still, with these types of storms and this type of shape of severe weather, it is possible that we could end up with a spin-up tornado still. So again, just a reminder that this line is still pushing through, still pretty dangerous. We want to make sure that you're staying inside and away from those windows. As it works its way across Cumberland County, we're getting into Clay County, where a severe thunderstorm warning is, moving through Salina. And then as we get into Smith County here, Jackson, I should say, Jackson County, a very small portion of the county under that severe thunderstorm warning as well. And back to the west, still seeing quite a bit of rain and non-severe thunderstorms for now. We do have Amanda and our photographer Jared, who are live with a power pole that I believe has been brought down in Madison. Oh, I see. Power pole snapped here. So this is a live picture here from Madison in Nashville area. So power pole there you can see is snapped. And that was all due to the very strong winds that pushed through here. And so again, goes hand in hand with some of the power problems that we're having at the moment. Over 50,000 customers, NES customers, without power due to the very intense winds that move through. I'm going to be really interested, Brett, to come back once we're done and we have some time to look back at the radar and then at our Metro Center camera, because at one point it looked like we had debris that was in the air here at Metro Center from our camera that was in view, but it was quite dark and there was a lot of wind at the moment. And
we just had the sheets of rain too.
Yeah.
That wind just blowing some of that heavy rain just in sheets. So very, very strong. Regardless of whether there was a tornado or not, we had some very strong winds. Like I was saying earlier, we got that official report of a 67-mile-an-hour wind gust that was recorded from the Nashville airport. We'll just go ahead and just kind of give you a wide view and a quick overview. But before I do that, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything coming in on that tornado warning. Okay, so it's 6:27 right now. This tornado warning up here is set to expire at 6:30, and it sounds like they are going to let that expire at 6:30
for Cumberland County.
For Cumberland County,
that's right. Kentucky.
Yep, for Cumberland County in Kentucky, and they're going to just replace that with a severe thunderstorm warning. So that is good news. So now, just kind of giving you a wide view of what's going on right now. Still seeing some showers and thunderstorms. I think probably this area, kind of around here or so, we may have to keep an eye just on these storms that are down here. That's right.
Yeah.
Just make sure none of these storms down here in parts of northwest or parts of northern Mississippi start to move up into that area, move up on that northeasterly track. So we'll be watching that area. And then I want to show you this tornado watch map too before we go off, because more counties have been clipped out of here. So we're talking counties that are now pushing in a little bit closer to Interstate 65 in our more northern portions of the viewing area. So that's going to be even up to like Robertson, Cheatham County, Dixon County, Humphreys County, on down to Decatur County, and everybody kind of northwest of that has now been clipped out of that tornado watch. So that is good news. We are seeing that main push of the line, and that's why they were able to go ahead and cancel that out. But we still just need to keep our eye out for some of these areas too. Nothing severe just yet, but we will keep on monitoring those areas just to make sure that none of that starts to act up. Fortunately, most of the day, even though it's produced some heavy rain and some lightning and some kind of strong winds too, it has not been severe, and we have not really seen any areas of rotation that have concerned us down here with these storms that have been south of Interstate 40. It was really this one that moved up along Interstate 40 and pushed through Dixon County, Cheatham County on into Davidson County, and then just kept on working its way further northeast and is now way up here on the far outskirts of our viewing area. This is up here in Cumberland County. So Burkesville, you're seeing the heavy rain right now, seeing some lightning and some probably very strong winds that are moving through Burkesville right now with this storm right here. So 6:29, Katie, the current time 6:30. So in about 30 seconds from now to a minute, this tornado warning will hopefully be dropping off of our computer. And as soon as it drops off, we will tell you that you can get out of your safe place. The threat has passed, and we'll also get you back to regular programming as soon as this drops off of our screen. Just have another few minutes on that warning. Or a few seconds on that warning.
Yeah, all right, Brett, thank you. And once again, we'll just take a wide view here of what we've got going on. Our tornado watch, as Brett mentioned, has continued to be trimmed back, so that's good news. And just in the course of the last few hours, you can see how this line evolved. Really, the northern part of the line that brought intense winds, perhaps a tornado. We had tornado warnings stretching from Dixon all the way through Davidson County and points east. And we do still continue to watch to our south and to our west, where it'll be possible here that we have a couple strong thunderstorms. Good news is just within the last few scans, it looks like the severe thunderstorms, that tornado warning here within this cell, it has no longer got a severe thunderstorm warning attached to it. So that would be a good trend to see with these storms here that are coming in out of Mississippi. However, these counties down here, Wayne, Lawrence, Giles County, have not seen very much action yet today. So we will need to watch that as we head into the next couple of hours, and then our attention turns to the rain. So we'll be watching all of this rain to continue to train our way. That may cause, will likely cause flooding concerns for a lot of folks. So we will be watching that closely as we go through the next several hours. But as you can see now, the tornado warning has canceled for Monroe and for Cumberland counties. So now we are tornado warning free. We do continue with this main line here. Severe thunderstorms capable of 60-mile-per-hour winds, torrential rain, and flash flooding are all possible. And we do continue with the tornado watch that is in effect until 9 o'clock. But you can see those counties are being trimmed back, so that's good to see too. We will be here. We are watching the radar, and we'll break in as needed. Right now, though, thank you so much for watching, for staying safe. And we'll be back tonight, hopefully not cutting in early, for Fox 17 News at 9. We'll send you back to regular programming.